Hi everyone and welcome. I'm so glad to have you here today with me. This is a remake and a special request of my espresso joy soap that I made. But because I recently had to make some new coffee oil, I had roasted those beans again. I did a double roast on them to really boost, not quite burning them, but just extra roasting them in the oven. And it just gave them such a nice fragrance. I decided to call this one a Roasty Morning. I don't know, that just, I know it's a silly word, and it just seemed to work for me. However, I initially was going to do some smaller bars, and I had some complications. I'll tell you why. I had reduced the amount of liquid in this soap quite a bit because I was going to do a quick pour, and I wanted these to be able to come out of the mold quickly because, well, I've been busy between work and the farm and stuff, so ouch, I'm just banging myself all over. But anyway, I was trying to cut corners by reducing the amount of liquid. Soap will set up quicker, and I was counting on that so I could take them out of the mold quicker, get my video up quicker, and all that sort of thing. Well, I reduced it, and my soap kind of thickened up on me a lot faster than I'd intended. It's cold. So in colder weather, something I may or may not have mentioned previously, in colder weather, our hard oils, which this has in it, this has coconut oil, it has cocoa butter and shea butter, those tend to harden up a little quicker than they would ordinarily because it's cold, right? This room was in the 60s at the time I was soaping, and which is fine, very comfortable. I was feeling good. No issues for me, but for the soap, it is a bit more challenging. And so that's the issue. So, and I didn't realize this until I had got to the point where I was ready to pour the soap into those molds. And as soon as I started pouring, I thought, oh no, these are going to have air gaps in them. I tried all sorts of things. I shook down those little molds. I banged them. I did everything. It was very messy, but I was intent on making it work. Unfortunately, it did not work. When I removed them from the mold, they had the air pockets and gaps from where the soap just didn't pour into all the crevices. And for a very finely creviced mold like those, you need a much more liquid soap. So I knew that I was going to have to rebatch this. So I got it into my bain-marie, the double boiler, and added some more goat milk to it, and it seemed to do the trick, at least where it was pourable. And at this point, I decided I'm not going to try to pour it back into those smaller molds because this soap, as soon as it hits air, when it comes out of there, it does start hardening up. So I decided just pour it into one of my loaf molds and just cut some bars from it. So that's what I ended up doing. And I added a bit of ground, well, actually powdered, meaning that there won't be exfoliation like you would normally get in a coffee soap. This wasn't meant to be that. So I just added some ground coffee, or the roasted espresso beans at the very end, just to add some darker color. And that was fine, but I didn't want the whole thing to just be one dark color. And That wasn't my initial plan, was actually do 2 different colors when I was using those other molds, but when it thickened up, I realized I couldn't even add color. It was just a disaster. So when I redid this and put it into the larger mold, I wanted some variation on the top. So I simply took some titanium dioxide that I have in distilled water and put some drops on top and just swirled it into the top, just to give sort of a lighter, foamier white color on top of our coffee. And it worked. Is it perfect? No, it's not. And as I've discussed in other videos, you would think after 50 years, I wouldn't make mistakes like that. 50 plus years, I should say. But it's okay. And I hope this makes those of you that are new to soap making actually feel a little better too, because this can happen to those of us that have done this a very long time. It can happen to you. And I don't want you to feel like things don't always go as planned, that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great learning experience. And out of that, you can end up with something very interesting sometimes. I'm happy with these bars. I'll be keeping one for myself before I put them in the store. I like them very much. They're, are they what they were initially intended to be? No, not quite, but that's okay. How many people, well, before we had modern technology, may have wanted to have a boy, but ended up with a girl, or wanted a girl and ended up with a boy, and then ended up really loving that child, of course, and couldn't imagine a world without that child in it. I'm not going to say I feel that way about bars of soap. That would be exaggerating a bit. But I guess my point is that even when things don't always turn out as we think they're going to turn out, it can still be advantageous to us. It can be something that's good. And these smell delicious because here's what's great. Because I had double roasted those beans, the fragrance is much stronger, and I didn't have to add very much coffee essential oil. There's a little bit, or coffee, it's not essential oil. I apologize. It is more of an absolute. It is an extraction. But I like the fragrance that it gives along with the rich espresso beans. It is such a nice blend, and it holds strongly, I believe, in the soap. This is a great soap, I think, because of the high caffeine and those oils. I think it's very good for the scalp. I like it to wash my hair with coffee soaps. Some people find it very useful, especially when you use it along with coffee oil as a treatment. I think it's a tremendous benefit, but then I'm partial. I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. I do enjoy putting these together for you. I'm working on a video, or I'm working on editing a video for a special drawing coming up for the 6,000 subscribers we just hit. Not a monstrous number by any stretch, but one I'm very proud of. And just as a way to say thank you for all of you that come here and visit the channel and comment. I just love doing drawings, and it's a great way that I can, in one small way, say thank you for being here and for all you do. Have a great day, everyone. I hope your week is going well. I'm feeling great, and I hope that it's going equally as well for you. I hope you have a terrific day, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.